We are live. Welcome, everyone, to today's Daily Tune-In. Today is a special one. And before I get to the message, which is really important because it has to do with your 2022, I first wanted to invite my husband in, who's eating his bread. But today it's his birthday. So I wanted to celebrate since we are sitting here in Ukraine all by ourselves. no one to celebrate with but us.
Wait a minute. We got friends who are not eating this whole cake.
Well, we do have friends. We have the people who own this. We kind of invited ourselves to their house. We invited them to coffee to celebrate our his birthday, but then they're like, oh, why don't you just come to our house? So we got all excited because we're like, what, we got invited somewhere? But literally it's been him and I, me and him, whatever the proper terminology is, for him and I for months. So for us to have a celebration, I wanted to bring him into this space, since this is my little space online, and introduce him to you guys. I want this to be a beautiful and personal place. And so I wanted to introduce you to my husband, Bud. He is, it's his birthday today, as I said. And he's my soulmate. We talk a lot about spiritual stuff here, energetics, and as far as having a partnership with someone that is divinely made for me, he is it. He has seen my weird. He's allowed me to be fully who I am.
She is not weird.
I talk. Yeah, I'm not weird when it comes to him, but I can finally talk all of the weird that I've always questioned, that I've always wondered about, that I've always wanted to talk with someone about. And to have that be my everyday life has been super, super exciting. So I don't have candles, but I have this one that I use in the bath. That's what this is for. So, honey, happy birthday.
Thanks, babe.
I love you. I adore you. Blow out your candle. Now,
give me that cake before you drop it.
You take the cake in husbandry, and now you can take the cake. I want to show them this stuff. Look at these cool little things. They're little chocolate pieces, but they have little, I love the Ukrainian alphabet thing. It's so weird here.
That's a word.
And yes. But anyway, thank you for sharing that with me. So everyone's saying happy birthday. Okay, so on to today's message. It's kind of exciting, but there's also some truth that we need to talk about so that we know exactly what to expect as the first few months of 2022 unfold. And it's going to be rather exciting. And excitement comes with a lot of joyful excitement, and excitement also comes sometimes with some the excitement that makes you a little bit afraid and makes you a little bit unsettled. So I want to talk a little bit about that, because when we expect this energy, and we know that this energy is building, then we know how to maneuver it in a way that is in our highest and best good, with as much peace within us as we can. And we have already done so much work throughout this year that you're prepared for 22 and all of the excitement it has to bring us when we can see it in that divine light, in that divine way. So these last 40 days, it's been more now than 40 days, but that has been one of the most potent purging processes. That just came out, and I loved it. Potent purging processes than we have ever been through. This whole year has been a purging process. Many of you have purged systems, old paradigms, relationships, jobs, all the ways that the purging of energy has manifested in your life. You have lived it. We all have. We've all lived through the same global events. We've all lived through our individual events that we've had to live through and rise up into higher light, higher knowledge, higher wisdom, in order to come up and ascend into these higher states of frequency. In those higher states of frequency, we've become more wise. We've shed a lot of the densities, the old paradigms. And in that last 40 days that we were living through together on these daily tune-ins, that was one of the most powerful purging processes that we have been given. We have been aided. We were aided in that. We were given more light, and more light was flooding in on top of the solar light. So we were really stretched into the most dynamic purging process so that we could prepare ourselves for 2022. 2022 is a 6-year. I posted about this here in the comments here on this video. Last year was a 5-year. Fives are about transformation. Transformation is messy. Transformation comes with understanding, kind of looking at where you've been, understand the new truths. Priya, sorry, my dog's licking and it's driving me crazy. Understanding the new truths that are uncovered, and then moving forward and transforming through those. So a 5-year is it's a transformational year, that's for sure. But as we know, and as we've learned, transformation has a really messy stage. Then we move into a 6-year in 2022. That is where we have whole new perception. We're starting to align with the divine mind, the divine plan. We have been through this purging process and this ascension process so fast this year, so that we could veer on to our divine journey, our divine plan, our soul plan. So the beautiful thing with that is that now every single human being is now kind of knocked onto the right pathway. So for those of us who have known about this journey, who have done the healing work to purge all of those densities that were kind of limiting us, so that we had these filters up, so we couldn't quite see our divine path, we are seeing it more and more clearly. And as we move into the new year, we are now going to be aligned, and we are going to be more aligned in the higher frequencies of a 6-year of abundance and expansion, and that, the consciousness of love. So we are going to be living this again. There's going to be 2 different journeys that are being played out, especially as we start the year, because we're still coming out of this year. This last purge, it was purging a lot energetically. Okay, so it purged the matrix paradigms out of us, as well as out of our systems and organizations. So although it doesn't seem like anything has shifted in the physical reality, remember that reality is the last piece, it's the last part to show what has happened energetically. We are going to start seeing all of that unfold in our lives and in our global lives. So as we move through into 2022, all of that purging process, the matrix energy, it was at a very low vibration. All of that has fallen away energetically and has been dismantled. So we're going to see a lot more of stuff dismantle in the physical form. How that comes across could be shocking to many. It could be scary. It could just be like, it could be great for some of us who are like, finally now everything we've ever known about these systems is now being rocked. There's going to be a changing of the guard that's coming in to revitalize and to revamp and to bring all of these organizations up to a higher standard, a higher frequency. How that unfolds might look a little disrupted, disorganized. So for those of us who are in these higher frequencies and who are more on a divine path, we understand that the transformation we're seeing in the physical reality is getting everything on the divine path and in our highest good. For those who have not fully purged the densities, this could be a disruption that is catastrophic energetically and visibly for them to work through. Here's some truth that might be hard to hear, but yet when we are prepared, when we know, we can prepare ourselves. Some of these divine beings that are very much still attached to that third dimensional reality, when life events or global events take place in lieu of this change that has to happen, that is in our highest and best good, there will be many that will exit this timeline simply because they cannot, it'll short circuit. We've talked about that here. It'll short circuit their systems. Their minds will be blown. They won't be able to withstand the higher frequencies. So I know this could be scary. This is not death in the way that we are, that, you know, that we've been taught. This is simply a transition from one dimensional reality to another where their own karmic energy can be worked out. So it's not it could be a physical death, but it's not a death in a scary or ugly way. I don't want to be a downer here. I'm not spreading fear. I just feel and know that there is great changes that are coming, and there are some people, many are ready and are ready to navigate these changing times, but there will be some that just can't handle it, and that is okay. When we see it in from a soul perspective, we understand that every soul comes into this lifetime with an expectation of what their soul path is, and although consciously we may not know that, we may not have the remembrance of everything our soul knows. Our souls know exactly what that divine plan is. So the divine plan is going to play out in 2022. And for those who are receptive and who are open and whose soul's journey is to take us through these changes and to witness these changes and be a part of them, we are going to watch all of this. For there will be some of us as well who have the soul's plan was to take us this far, and then they go to another dimensional reality where the soul then incarnates in a different form and continues their work. This is a beautiful time. This is the exact thing that we as humans are opening up to and embracing more. The soul's journey is not at all attached to the physicality that we have been taught and that we've been conditioned in. Okay. For those of you, though, however, who are going to move through these changes, who are going to experience these changes, and however they manifest, we are going to watch it from a higher perspective while our divine plan opens up. So as our divine plan comes into form in our realities, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be blissful, it'll be joyful. While all of this is going on, it is up to us whether or not to allow that energy to come in, knowing that it's not there to destroy us or to scare us in any way. It just is something that has to crumble so that it can be, the souls are already in place to rebuild it. Does this make sense? I want to make sure that there's no fear around this. And I know I just shared some information that could be a little bit scary, and yet this is not at all the intention. It's a beautiful, beautiful time. Been buffering for 4 minutes. Darn it. Okay, well, hopefully. Okay, good. Happy birthday. I'll let him know. Thanks for all the birthday wishes for him, you guys. I appreciate that. The other thing is, the events that will unfold are going to be will speed up the transfiguration of your life and our global life. So the one thing that I keep getting is linear time is going to be very different for us. So it's not like we'll be in fast forward motion. So it's not going to take forever. I don't know what that means. I don't think it's going to take thousands of years for us to rebuild it. I don't know. It could take 20 years. It could take 10 years. I don't know. It's not going to happen overnight, but it'll be a lot faster. We'll be able to see things happen faster than I think we can understand or believe at this point. So that means for you as well. So there's really exciting things coming in. There's really exciting opportunities for you to get on your divine plan. Remember that all purging has been done within you energetically to pull out all of that the old obsolete paradigms, the old obsolete densities. So if any of that pops up, you can just let that go, because there's no attachment anymore. Those attachments, those cords have been cut through this last energetic purge. So anything that comes up is old stuff. You can simply trust this process now. You are fully cleansed, you are fully cleared, as long as you allow it. And the only thing that can filter that, or I don't want to say mess it up, but mess it up, is to allow old stuff to, these outer events to come into your beingness. And yet, as soon as it does, you'll be able to recognize it. The frequency will be so low and dense that you can just, it's going to be easier to let go of. And I've noticed that in my own life. Like when I pull in, things that are like regrets, or, or whatever. Like this, not even regrets. I'm like, anything that I might feel regrettable about. As soon as it comes in, I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I would still be here, even if if I knew that would have happened. So it's, things are being able to come up and leave faster from our fields. That's a beautiful thing. So, anyone have anything? Happy birthday, happy birthday. Thank you all so much. I don't know, I haven't gotten any notifications that my internet has been bad, but someone said that I've been buffering for 4 minutes, and that's kind of disappointing. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, because I want to make sure that there's only clarity and only understanding of this as being in our highest and best good. So rest up, because we're about to go into a really exciting time and a really exciting year. And the only thing that we put our focus on is living our divine plans. And that sounds so amazingly beautiful. I embrace that. I take this year in as the numerological, I don't know if that's a word. I had a hard time with that word earlier, year that it is. It's a 6 year, and it is about expansion, abundance, and unconditional love. I will take that all day long. Thank you all for celebrating Bud's birthday with me today. Thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow on the next Daily Tune In. Have a good one.